All right, Ipsy seniors. I'm not going to do a seasonal recipe today. This is our in-between bonus video. There will be another one mid-September. But today I want to talk to you about breakfast. When it comes to breakfast, there are no rules. It doesn't mean, we got to have bacon and eggs, or we got to have something sweet, or we got to have pancakes, or French toast, or something like that. There really are no rules. One of the suggestions that I make for people is that you cook up whole grains once a week, whether it's quinoa or farro or something like that, a buckwheat, or I mean, there's a number of different grains that you can cook up and have on hand. You can take those grains, you can heat them up a little bit if you want. You can eat them cold if you want, if they're already cooked. Throw some berries, some nuts and seeds in it. You got breakfast. Easy way to do it. Oatmeal is always a good breakfast. But there just aren't any rules. So if you feel like eating a healthy one pot meal that you made the night before or 2 days before for breakfast, eat it. Eat a salad. It doesn't matter. Just eat real food. So for today, it's Sunday, and I always do a Sunday brunch. So I'm going to kind of show you what I do for my typical Sunday brunch. I'm going to get you over here, get you down on the food. So the first thing that I have going that you can see here is just some chopped up vegetables. There's some black olive in there. There's some pepper and some red onion. And I'm just going to water saute this a little bit. I just turned it on, and you can watch how that'll just steam up real quick. We'll get the onions a little bit translucent, and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to do a tofu scramble with this. So I have a half a block of an extra firm tofu. I'll show you that 1 second. So this is the Nasoya brand. I find this at Walmart, believe it or not, and it's super firm. And the nice thing about it is, I can cut it in half, drain the water off, and this is literally what you get. There's no pressing it, there's no nothing. I don't have to squeeze a bunch of water out of it or anything like that. And all I'm going to do with this tofu is we're going to just pull it apart and crumble it. I'm going to try not to make too much of a mess here. And then this will go in our little scramble here in a little bit. Get this lid on here so it goes just a little faster. And we're just going to split this up. So this half a block of the tofu is enough for at least 2 people. And you could just take a little quarter block if it's just yourself, or half a block for 2, or a little less if you're not a big eater. So I like to do personally on Sundays a pretty big Sunday brunch. I enjoy doing that. So the other thing that I have going right now, and you'll see in just a minute when it's done, is we have I've got cubed yellow potatoes in the oven. I've got them on parchment paper with no oil. I've got fresh rosemary and some other Mediterranean style seasoning, which is this little one here that is put together. We've got that sprinkled over the top, and that'll be done in a little bit. And we'll have some roasted potatoes. The other thing that we're going to be doing is using the Bialetti non-stick hard anodized pan. I've got this on just over 5, so just under half. And we're going to do banana oat pancakes. Now, if you remember from last year, we did banana oat pancakes. I showed you how to do those along with the zucchini fritters. So I'll put a link in the description to both the recipe and that video so you know how to make them. So give me 1 second. You can watch this steaming up, and we're literally just getting a little simmer, a little water. I'm gonna wash my hands up. We're going to use a wooden spoon so we don't scratch up our pans. And we're just going to let that simmer for a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to get these banana oat pancakes on. You see this is a nice thick batter. I'm going to make a bunch of pancakes today. I made extra so that I can make them and have them throughout the week. So it's about 2.5 cups of oatmeal, 2 medium ripe bananas, 1.5 cups of, I use flax milk, but you can use any soy or plant milk in there. We're going to just spread these out a little bit so they're not too thick. You see my batter's a little thick. And I can see with the way this is bubbling that that's running just a little bit hot. So I'm going to hold that off a bit to make sure we're not causing our vegetables to stick here. And that's just about where I want those, so I'm going to turn it down. We're going to throw this tofu right in here. And crumble up some of this a little bit better for you. And then I have a spice mix that I use, but you can do whatever you want on your tofu. I tend to go real heavy on spices, just because I like the flavors and that type of thing. And frankly, I don't love the flavor of tofu. It doesn't bother me, but I can't really say that I love it. So I use lots of seasoning and things to make it not taste like soybeans. So you can see that that's going to give a yellowish. I could add a little bit of turmeric to this, and it'll make it a little bit more yellow. That's not going to take too long to heat up, and these pancakes are going to take a while. So I'm just going to cover that. We're going to turn it down, and then when it finishes, I'm going to take just a little tiny pinch of this black salt, Himalayan black salt. This gives it sort of a eggy, sulfury taste, and you just need a really light sprinkle of it to give it flavor. And if you do that on just eggs, which is the vegan eggs made out of mung beans, you literally can't tell that it's not scrambled eggs. So you can see where we're going with this. We're going to let that cook. Let these pancakes cook, and I'll flip them. Now, one of the things about these banana oat pancakes is they take time. It's not a 5-minute flapjack. You've got to let them, pretty much all of this needs to get dry. And so we're kind of slow cooking them, a little under medium heat, letting them just do their thing there, because if you tried to flip this right now, and I'll show you. Tried to do this right now, you'd make a big mess with them and they're going to be sticky. So you just gotta kind of let them do their thing. See how that would just be a mushy mess if I did that. And you notice that I use no oil on this, no oil on this. There's no oil on the potatoes, which you'll see in a little bit. And that's how you do a healthy breakfast. This is tofu and vegetables. This is oats and bananas, and we've got potatoes. They're all whole plant foods, all good for you, all heart healthy, no saturated fat. You notice I don't have bacon and butter and garbage like that. This is just a nice, clean way to eat. There's not a ton of calories in it, so you can eat lots if you're hungry. And we'll show you what happens here in a minute. Let me put you on pause. We'll be back in a bit. Okay, look at that, folks. We are back. This is done. Everything's steaming hot. These pancakes look perfect. So what I'm going to do here is plate this up. Now, I mentioned the potatoes are these I put in the oven at 400 for an hour, just on parchment paper and some seasoning. And there we got breakfast potatoes without the junk. No oil. Don't need any sour cream or anything like that. We have a nice healthy scramble here. And as I mentioned to you, we're going to just dust this really, really lightly. Look at the picture here. Just gonna dust that with that Himalayan salt, and that's it. And that's all there is to it. There's a healthy whole food Sunday brunch. Hope you guys enjoyed that. See you soon.